And this is another thing, as an actor, I didn't go to acting school. So I could try anything. A lot of actors was like, you can't do commercials. I was like, yes, I can. And they were like, and the Old Spice came. I was like, let's do Old Spice. And they were like, ah, and I did the whole power. And people were
Was that your creation, the power?
Well, this was what happened. It was kind of a mix because they kept telling me to do stuff and I would do it bigger. So they'd say power, and I was like, some people go power. I was like, power, and I would put everything in there. They're like, oh, that's what we want. This is the first time I did this. They were like, yes, do that again. The first time we did the commercial, we made 3 commercials in the same day because they were like, do that again, and then do that, and then I was like, okay, and I was like, I remember block. I was doing all that. They were like, okay, we're going to make another commercial.
Did that make you feel that you had something special?
Oh, because the way they were acting, like they were sitting there going, oh, and I was like, oh, I love this. You got to understand too, I'm a show off. Like,
it's okay.
You know when it's working, when people can't take their eyes off you, you go, oh, this is so much fun. Like,
that's awesome.
I'm sure you know, when you're on stage and people are cracking up.
Yeah.
Isn't that the best feeling in the world?
I did commercials. It was my first thing as an actor, as a performer, when I moved to São Paulo. São Paulo is the big city. I was in Porto Alegre, which is the city in the south. I moved to São Paulo. Commercials were the first thing for me. And it's crazy that you're saying, like, actors say that you cannot do this and you cannot do that. The fact that you didn't have the training made you more natural, made you didn't have the whole, oh, look at this and look at that. You're you. And all of a sudden people are like, you know what? I like this guy. Commercials, I think, is the more fair thing for an entertainer because there's a line of 200 people. They don't know who those people are. And all of a sudden, if they like you, you're going to get the job.
That's it.
So it's a fair business.
You got the look. You're what I wanted.
Yes.
And this is the thing too, man. I mean, when you look at the whole commercial thing and just doing what you did, it taught me a lot. But again, what was so good, I didn't have anybody judging me because I didn't know what was going on. I'm gonna give you a thing that I used to do. And this is when I first started acting. I didn't know the technique. So I would go to a director and then they would go, okay, Terry, we're going to do this. I said, look, what is this one I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a 10, which is big. Because one thing, the casting agents were always like, oh, he's so big. I said, I'll give you a 10. Now, you tell me if that's too much, because you can never go up.
Yeah.
They can never turn you up, but they can always turn you down. So the first one will be big. I said, now, when you see the big one, tell me, what's the next one you want? 7. It was, do a 7. All right. Do a 5. All right. Do a 3. All right.
Yeah.
And I said, so tell me a number. If you give me a number and I can play with that, and give me a 1. All right. That's good. And they would go, so they would go, 5. Okay, go with this one at about 5. How about that? I'll give them the whole thing at a 5. And that was the way I learned. That was the way, and that was the way I got a director to talk to me because I didn't know what technique to use. Because I knew there are actors who were like, I'm only going to give you this.
Yeah.
And that's it. Sorry.
No, you were willing to adapt.
I was like, no. If you want me to, I'll give you. And they said, no, Terry, give me a 10. All right, here we are. And I was like, yeah. T-Money was all 10.
Yeah.
It was 10.